So this week's job is the Focus RS. This is a special edition model. I can't remember the exact name for it, but it's the one that's got the matte mirrors and the matte roof and the matte spoiler all matching. Now this is in for a paint enhancement. It actually isn't bad for swirls, to be fair. It's not the hardest paint in the world, it's by far the softest, but it does mark a little bit. But to be fair, for its age, the swirls and scratches are actually pretty good. The thing that is the problem on here that I've noticed now I've started working on it, as you can see we're only on with the bonnet so far, the part I've noticed is the heavy contamination on here. Now, we've done all the pre-wash and the wash, the fallout removers, everything else you can do, but there's a lot of contamination built into the actual panels. So what we're needing to do is working that manually, and then we're going over it with the machine itself. But what I can instantly tell, and it's actually a big difference on this car, the camera isn't going to pick this up, it's more of a visual thing. But on the panel itself, this side here hasn't been touched at all yet. And it's metallic here and it's glossy, but it isn't great. You know, like outside it looks great, it looks really good. This has obviously got that, it's a Volvo paint, the Polestar paint, but it's obviously, the RSs have that like white, silver, sort of metallic flake to them. So outside they look really good. The problem is, on what I can really see on here, that panel at that side looks really dull and a bit patchy. This panel in the middle that I've done looks insane. Like the metallic reflection is next level, and it's way deeper. It's probably 4 or 5 sort of tones darker in the actual paint colour itself. And that is the thing I found with the paint on this one, is just the contamination's pretty heavy. So it's got fallout across all the panels, but it's got a lot on the bonnet, which is a bit of a strange place to get it. So what we're going to be doing on this anyway, guys, is the customers asked for the number plates to be changed, so we're going to be doing that. Obviously the number plates come off with this type of service because we clean those areas anyway and we machine detail them, and I will show you on the rear the reason why we do this as well. Now, a lot of detailers probably do this, but not everybody. But if you can see here, this is really tarnished, and you can actually see the stain here, and it doesn't come out. It's not coming off, so that needs machine work. That isn't going to come out naturally. The door pillars are obviously going to get done. They're pretty common for that sort of thing, but it's also in for a Ceramic Pro coating on this car. So we're going to be Ceramic Pro in the whole vehicle, glass, inside doors, boot shuts, mirrors, you name it, the whole car's getting done. We're changing it up a little bit because this has got vinyl on the roof and vinyl on the mirrors, so we're going to be putting something different on those areas. But again, it's related to a vinyl product. We're actually going to be using Pro Film on there. And what the customers also asked me to do is kind of wide mouth it. I don't know if that's the word anymore, but basically the blue line on the bottom of the bumper, we're going to be wrapping that, and we're going to be wrapping it to the corner, so it's actually an angle on both sides, and that's to make it look like it's got a bigger grille and a bigger mouth on it. And ironically, we've got the vinyl already in, so we're not having to try and search for it, because we've just wrapped the BMW, which you've seen, it's on eBay and it's on Facebook for sale at the minute, and it's a swap shop car. And we've got 2 colours of vinyl that we've used on that car, and we had samples, and they're very close to the colour that's actually on here. So we are going to be using that because it's the nearest thing we get without having to buy loads of vinyl in and make it obviously a more expensive job for the client. Because we've got some vinyl upstairs, we're going to be wrapping that, and it's going to be as close as we get to the factory colours on there. And that's basically what we're going to be doing this week, along with a few other little jobs. Wheels are obviously going to come off, calipers are going to get coated, wheels are going to get coated inside out. And we do a valet free of charge on everything that we do. So hopefully what we'll do is we'll get this finished for the week, Friday. By the time this blog's online, we'll have the photos, we'll have Abby taking some really good media shots on this, and we're going to be opening a TikTok account. I know we're well behind, guys. I'm not a media guy, really. I know we should be. But we'll have some more footage on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. But have a look, because we're going to be popping up, especially for the younger generation. There's going to be a TikTok account coming up on there, what Abby's going to be running, and there's going to be some fancy videos of this car on there. But we will get a full montage and a full video roll of this car once it's done, and you'll see how we can make the RS seriously pop. So what we showed you earlier on the video, guys, I'm going to try and get it a little bit closer now. I can only get this at certain angles just because of the way the light is. So the lens is a bit, 2 minutes. That might help a little bit. Right, so I'm going to try and get it on camera. You can see a bit of etching. You can see like a ghosting effect where the number plate's basically been on this. The camera, it isn't there. You can see it there where it's actually, can you see the dark outline? But I don't know why it's happened, but it's because the car's had no protection on there, so there hasn't been any sort of wax or any coatings actually applied to this car, or not for some time anyway. But where the number plate has been, it's basically eaten into the actual paint, and it's created this sort of ghosting effect that you can see. Now this isn't coming out with any product I've tried whatsoever or any prep, so we're going to have to go on to this with the machine work now. So hopefully what we're going to do is I'm going to get the rotary tool on here, we're going to mask up around the light just to make sure I don't touch this. For no, I mean I won't, but I'm just going to make sure I don't anyway. Obviously we need to make sure the pad doesn't really touch here because I don't want to damage the pad, which could then damage the paint because I are using a rotary tool. But I'm going to use a rotary, we're going to try and cut this here, and I'm going to come back to you in a second and obviously show you if we can actually do it, if it's come out, and if so, how well it's come out. So just to show you there guys, this now has fully come out and it looks insane, and it's obviously never going to get marked again because we're going to be putting the Ceramic Pro on this when we actually finish it. I've still got a bit of refinement to do on here, but I am going to show you with one of the detailing torches that we sell. So if you're a detailer, obviously these are available online, and install these really show everything up. So even if you think you've done an amazing job, always check it with one of these. We do. We've got a sensational booth here. I still check it with this because do you know what, this will find things that other lights still don't. So I'm going to show you with this how we've refined that and how the boot now looks absolutely immaculate, and that is it with the high-end detailing light on. And as you can see, even if I get close and move the torch around for you, no etching, no marks, no defects, no swirls, no scratches. Perfect boot, and that's exactly what you need when you're doing a car, especially if you're detailing something. For the main reason, I always say do the boot has to be like even better, and that's because the reality is when you're out in your car and one of your friends is behind you with the car, the new xenon lights show absolutely everything. If you don't get the boot right, everyone's going to know you haven't done the job properly. So there you go guys, we'll get back to you in a bit, we'll do a bit of a montage when I do the rest of the video. We're now going to get on with doing the pillars, which are actually marked to hell, both front and back, and then I'm going to wrap the front of the bumper before I go on with the ceramic.
could have.
So what I'm basically doing on this front lip now is we're doing kind of what I think people call it a wide mouth or a big mouth, and we've got some vinyl from Metamark which we've used on our BMW, which is obviously quite useful for that to happen, but this matches basically the colour of the front bumper, the roof, the mirrors and the spoiler. So luckily this isn't just black and it's actually going to blend in. But what I'm doing is I'm overlapping this on here, which I'll show you in a minute on the camera, and there's a reason why we're overlapping that, and that's because we don't want this to basically go flat here. We want it to actually have a curve, and we want it to match this part of the bumper down here. What we're also going to do is wrap all the way underneath, so obviously it does look underneath, it's actually fully wrapped instead of just the top. And then we're also going to actually put a piece down here. It's going to be a little bit tricky just because of the way the angle is, but we're going to put a piece of vinyl in here as well, and then that way when you actually see it from either side of the car, it looks like a factory finish. So what I was trying to basically say is on here, we don't want to just cut that flat. because it's going to look odd if it's sliced here. So what we're actually going to do is I've overlapped it so we can actually get a finish that looks basically in line with the bumper, and then we're actually going to wrap all this part here to this line, and then when you look at it from either angle, it's going to literally match, because if it didn't, then you're going to have a blue part on the bumper as well. Well, you can certainly tell the warmer months are coming, because I am absolutely cooking myself at the minute with these ceramic lamps. It's been a while since they've actually been that hot. They've been a bloody godsend over winter, just because it's been that cold, but today they are absolutely killing me. So what we're currently doing now is we've done all the prep work on the car, we've wrapped the front grille, we've detailed it so every single swirl and scratch is out by one, which I will show to the customer, because as I've said in the past, you can't always get cars perfect. And there is one mark that is a razor blade deep, and it's going to take too much paint off getting it, so we've hidden it so you can't actually see the defects unless you really want to find it. But what we're currently doing now is putting the Ceramic Pro 9H on. This side has already had 4 coats, the bonnet has already had the 4 coats, and we're just about to do the driver's side, finish off on the boot, and then get both the bumpers done. The wheels will then come off. The wheels will be coated inside and out once they've been cleaned yet again, and then the calipers will be steamed before we put this coating on. So as I say, this is now the ceramic 9H coating, and this is where I literally sweat my backside off, because the heat lamps are going to go on, and in this enclosed booth that we've now got, it's seriously hot. I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm shattered. It's 5 o'clock, it's Friday, we're nearly finished on the car that we're working on. We've still got a lot to do tomorrow. The big beast X5 is about to go, so that needs to be washed in the morning and valeted. We've got the R8, or my R8, in on the second bay now. This has already started to have some PPF done. We've actually laid down the bumper, which is in sort of 3 pieces. The bonnet, ironically, is actually in 2 because it's massive, and you have to seam it across here, but you won't know. No one's going to even find that out, but you do have to seam it because it's huge. So that's on there, that's got to sit overnight. And we're just finishing off the Focus RS wheels, and anyone who owns a Focus RS will know that the wheels are pretty bad. They're never really fully painted on a Focus RS, I don't actually know why. And you find that the back of the wheel isn't particularly great finish. The fronts tend to lose colour really quickly. So what we've done on these, we've steamed the calipers, which I'll show you on here now. So the caliper is been completely steamed. It has got some dirt, actually, sorry, it's on the front here, that's bedded in. And it isn't coming out. I'm not sure why. And the rear's corroded a little bit. I'm just going to flip the camera around to show you. But the rear is actually corroded in here a little bit, and there's a chip there. I'm going to touch this up because we actually have some paint, but I'm not sure why it's corroded. But they've been steamed, they've been brush cleaned, and they've been fully prepped, and they have got Ceramic Pro wheel and caliper on, the same as the wheels, and the wheels look absolutely insane now. Anybody who has a Focus RS really should be booking in for the wheels doing. Obviously anyone with any car should be booking in, because the reason why we use Ceramic Pro is it's 9 times harder than a standard 9H. And when I say that, it's 9 times harder than their 9H. So this stuff is seriously tough. It's a bit of a bugger to do. If you miss a bit, you can tell, you get patchiness on it, but these wheels look absolutely insane. I mean, the finish on this now is next level, and this is how they should be from factory. They really should look like this, but now they've got the ultimate protection on them. So I'm going to show you what the bottle is, just so you know, and that is the 9H wheel and caliper coating. Like I said, it's 9 times tougher than their standard 9H coating, which is that one there. Now this customer's car has had the full Ceramic Pro package, so we'll put this in the description. We'll do a bit of a write-up on it. We're going to get some really good photos of this for the tomorrow ready for collection, so we'll post them on a separate blog. So if you go on the Instagram or the Facebook page, you'll see the photographs on there, but this is where you get the montage. We're about to put the wheels back on, we're about to lower it back down, give it a free interior valet, clean the inside of the glass because that does have a few stains on there, and then it's on time guys, and it's ready to start back on with some more stuff tomorrow.